Pete, does Chris have a neck surgery?
Chris is going to have season-ending surgery so that he can get ready to play for next season. And we went as long as we could, and he worked as hard as he could at it. And this is just, after just not being able to get it to happen and turn around, this is the best choice we got. And so and we'll look forward to him, getting all that taken care of and be ready for a big year next year.
What's the level of confidence that he will be back?
Every bit of it that he will. That's the whole reason that we're doing it now, and he's all for it, and we just couldn't shake it. We tried like crazy to get it done, but this is so that he can play next year.
What exactly is the issue?
I don't know what to call it. I don't know. But it's a neck injury. It'll be surgery. It'll be a cervical injury. But I don't know. I don't know enough to tell you. I can kind of draw it for you, but I can't tell you what it is.
Fans automatically think of Cam Chancellor and Cliff Averill. You've said, I think,
it's different. It's different than that. It's not the same. Not the same situation. Each one of those guys had their own unique situation as well, and this is uniquely different.
That must be what gives you hope that he can come back next year.
Yes.
You've got a few other guys that are questionable for the game. How are those guys looking? Jamal, DJ, Twain. I'm going to miss people on that list. Yeah,
well, let's go with Jamal and DJ first. Those guys are going to go till game day and see how they do this, because something happened a little bit during the week, so we don't know enough about it yet. So we got to wait and use every day. They're hopeful that they're going to be all right. Dwayne in practice, he's okay. Carroll already came back today. Feels good. He landed on his back. It's not exactly the same thing that would bothered him before, but it's still bothering him some. I can't tell you that he's going to make it. We'll wait till Sunday to figure that out.
So Jamal got hurt in practice or something?
Yeah, just tweaked some.
So with those guys, and I know that you've got different options there, but how much versatility do you have in the secondary if you needed to come up with, let's say, another dime package or move like Sidney Jones in and move somebody to the other side?
Well, we're moving some parts around. Yeah, that makes us move some parts around and place guys in different situations. So there's flexibility, but it's different. It can't be the same format. So we've already worked that out. So we're ready to go, kind of like an emergency plan if we need it. And hey, is this the first time we've done this together? We've done this. How many times out here? Seems like on Friday we've done it? It's been a few weeks. Okay, so just it felt new. I kind of got used to all of the caricatures that you guys project, from your homelands, wherever you're on the boat and in the dark and in front of the shades, and reminding us about Army and.
Like better.
Again.
Well, do you want to do match game and try to pair it with the individual person?
No, I don't.
Which do you like better?
I like in person better. Yeah.
Back to Chris for a second. When he first had to pop up back after week 4, was surgery discussed then, or was it a case of when he tried to come back to practice, it flared up and surgery became the
Well, I would say that there was some casual conversation about, this could lead to if it doesn't turn, kind of thing, and this is what you would do if it doesn't turn around. And then let's see, because we had time, and so we took as much time as we could to rest him, and built him up to bring him back. And when he came back to practice the first day, it wasn't quite right. He practiced again the next day, and it just didn't relent, and it's been real uncomfortable for him. It's been uncomfortable, physically uncomfortable for him, and so the indications were real strong that we needed to do something. If that didn't, again, that might have returned and responded better, but it didn't. So when it didn't, we got a pretty clear-cut case.
In the conversations that you've had with him, how hard is it for him to reach that awareness or the agreement that that's what should happen next? Because he is so competitive and he wants to be on the field.
Well, that's why it's taken so long. That's precisely why it's taken so long, because of his nature. And he is such a battler and a competitor. He's so tough that I just want to keep taking another shot at it and keep waiting and seeing if we could win it, and we couldn't. And so this will be a real positive thing that will happen. Had he made it through the season, that would have been considered anyway, so he'll have more time and get another couple months on it here and we'll get a jump on it.
Was he bothered previous years by this?
No.
Is there any indication that the style he plays with, the position he plays, caused any of this?
for what it is, there's just a little spot in one of the verts, that's got a rough spot in there that's irritating the nerve, and so he's an avid weightlifter, and he puts a ton of weight on his shoulders, and it's right up there. Who knows? It could come from anywhere, but but it's a wear and tear type of thing that developed. He has not had signs of it from the past. No.
How big a loss is this to know definitively you're not going to have him the rest of the
Well, we've been kind of dealing with it for some time, so we've had to, be prepared to move on. But Chris has been one of my favorite guys for a long time around here, ever since we found him and drafted him and all the style and the toughness that he's brought to us. He'll always be one of my favorite guys. And looking at that big 32, man, there's just something about the way he carried it, that we obviously have missed all season, and we'll miss. But we got to go on. We got to take care of him. We got to get him right.
How's Alex doing?
He's fine. He's ready to go.
Just your running back core in general. How do you feel?
I'm really looking forward to Rashaad. Really looking forward to seeing where he goes and contributes this week. He's got a real good role for us, and we're anxious to see him get going. And obviously, the reasons why, it's really his time to help us. And so, as we go through the next couple of weeks, you'll see him continue to be a big part of it.
Is the Eskridge better positioned to be a part of the game plan for you this week?
Yeah. Yes, and he will continue to be. No matter how. How long the weeks go by, you could learn. You got to get out here on the field, and get out there with us. And so he's missed so much time that it just restricts us some. It's not really assignments. It's just feel and timing and fit and on the plays and all the schemes and stuff. And so, but he looks really good. I mean, every day he's flashy. He's so explosive and can catch the ball so well. We're just really anxious for him to fit in. And so we're working that out.
Have you gotten much of a look at Nigel Warrior these last couple of weeks?
Just getting going. He's just getting going. It's been a long haul for him being out, but he is getting going, and he's working hard and making some plays in practice. We're starting to see him compete. We're looking to see what he can contribute in special teams as well, like he has in the past somewhat. And so he's making a move to show what he can do.
Is Ugo still like the primary backup free safety?
He plays back there in the back end. He can play both spots.
And if Jamarco can't go, will Stone be active?
That's possible.
Did you ever figure out what was going on with Marco at the
He just had a bug, that hit him pretty hard, but it wasn't COVID related at all. But he had a virus or something like that stuck with him for a little bit. Yeah, they figured it out because he's well and he's going. That's no longer an issue.
Did you hear anything from the NFL?
That was just kind of a curiosity question, right? Just kind of, did you ever figure that out?
Any of the calls in the Green Bay game that you said you had watched? Did you hear anything from the NFL about?
Yes. Do I have a painful look? Yeah. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard, I read what Sean was saying down there in New Orleans. He's grousing about stuff that he's seen too, and so they get nothing out of talking about it. They get nothing out of going at the conversation really. But we go through every step of the way that we can. One, to avoid the things from happening the next time, and hopefully trying to get the topic cleared up so everybody's understanding on the same page. Because most of the decisions are really subjective. And the ones that are tough, and so. Let me say this. I will say this. Excuse me. One of the things that is different, and I think I've said this before, is the league is helping out more so on plays as soon as they can to let you know that this is not a challengeable situation, or not that it's not challengeable, that they recommend that you don't challenge it because they've already seen it upstairs and they already know. And I don't know if other coaches have had the same experience we had, but remember we had that experience at Pittsburgh, and it keeps ringing in my ears, that they said don't challenge it, and then I fought through it and challenged it anyway, and they turned it around, So it's a little bit, it's a new situation for us. It's coming out new, and it feels different, and it's happening a lot. And the officials are real firm about what they're telling you, on the field. So, they're trying to influence you not to challenge the play, and. So that's a different aspect of what's going on. I don't know if other guys have recognized that or not.
Is that what they told you on the Wilson scramble?
Yes.
Well, and there's been just some inconsistencies across the league, and the topic has been brought up again about maybe making those guys full-time instead of having
Excuse me, maybe
officials. Making the officials
Right,
full-time officials.
making
instead
them
of
full-time.
If they ask
Absolutely, they should be full-time. Bud Grant knew that 30 years ago. He was clamoring for it forever. With all of the money that we spend and all that goes into this, my opinion is Bud's opinion or whatever, and now I'm going to go with him. I've always thought that. It's a big job. There's a tremendous amount of responsibility, and I know the guys got their own work, and more power to them. But, I would advocate that forever, that the guys should be put together in a system. They should be trained in the offseason. They should be training young officials for the future, on and on and on, and help college and every level of it by doing so. So I wish they would.
It's influencing.
I don't think I can get in trouble for that, but maybe I can. I don't know.
The white hats the ones that come to you to say, well, you shouldn't challenge, or is it just relayed to you by the sideline?
Yeah, it's just, I guess. Yeah.
Before the years.
The interesting part is they've been so convicted, Yeah. I mean, so. I'm sorry.
Before the year's over, would you like to see D and Trey return kicks at some point?
I would love to see D get some shots, in particular, more so than Trey. And Eskridge has been working at it longer and been really digging in, and he is available if we need him. He is available if we need him now. So that's getting closer. But he still needs work too. So he's getting there.
You expect Russ to take snaps under center on center?
You've got to wait and see. I mean, that would be a big, suspenseful moment. He's able to do that. He was last week too.
Speaking of challenging, did you work on your mechanism of getting the flag out?
Yeah, well, it was, like I said, it was a real rookie moment to be but 4 layers into it, and I know better. It was sitting right where it was supposed to be, and I went to the other side, and the back side, and I didn't feel it because it was underneath all my gum. So that was really the issue.
How does urgency among your team manifest itself during the week? Like, what does that look like?
Well, maybe a different way of me expressing it it's how they compete and how they work on a daily basis with the earnest, the urgency that you're talking about, by the way they battle, to do things right and be precise and really on point with assignments and communications and language and all that. So, I mean, we try to, I know this is hard for you guys to imagine this, but we try to find that sense of urgency that maximizes their focus forever, every day, every step they take. That's what we're after. And people say, oh, you can't do that. Well, that's what we've been doing for 20 years, is trying to figure out how to make sense to people that this is where they need to be in the moment so that they can maximize everything there is available for that moment so that you can get better. And that's why competition has always been the theme. It's because that is one of the drawing factors that makes guys come back and work harder, because they're going to get their butt kicked if they don't. And they're going to be in the highlights in the meeting. They're going to be shown getting beat or getting outrun or whatever it is on a regular basis, and so that it becomes the standard. And so, however, I would just to give you guys a little something on this. Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between when you're winning all your games and then when you're not. There's a different feeling about that. That's what you're addressing. Well, let's try harder. We're trying our freaking ass off day in and day out to get great at what we're doing. And but we're always relentlessly looking for ways to find that edge more so. And so, I hate to say this too. I hate to learn, the hard way. I've always told you guys that I hate to learn the hard way. I'd rather let the other people learn the hard way. But sometimes, it helps. It helps you maintain the focus that's necessary so that you can get things done a little bit better than you were otherwise. You can get. I'm trying to teach guys how to be comfortable with that sense of urgency by winning, and in your winning. And I'll, since we're here, I had a chance back at SC to be in the midst of huge runs, and that is week in and week out of being on top and being the best, and what that takes and how you keep coming back and how could you possibly not slip and fall or whatever and all that. And that's there's a whole discipline to that we're working on and we're trying to develop and maintain, and we're so equal in this league that it's just a small margin of difference that might be the difference that that gets you the game, that doesn't get you the game, and that's what we're always relentlessly fighting for.
How long does it take most players to internalize that?
I don't know. It depends on the guy, and it's why I've always loved guys with a chip on their shoulder and guys that have something to prove, and and they're never satisfied, you know. And those kind of competitors are the ones that hang closer to that high level of really being on it every day, day in and day out.
What have you heard, if anything, from Jody Allen?
You know, really communicates a lot through John, for the most part. Send messages once in a while and talk once in a while. We had a middle of the year meeting, and like we always do, and all, so pretty normal. It is normal.
Anything else?
Hotel California.